Of my father, of course. We're going to touch upon today, Bezrat Hashem B'Leneder, is a person allowed to call his parents, whether it's the father or whether it's the mother, by their first name. And then we're going to do a little bit Musar, Bezrat Hashem B'Leneder, from the Sefer Ve'elam U'Michshol. The topic is going to be a little bit sensitive, but we're going to have to be adults about it because we really want to see what the Torah requires from a relationship of husband and wife. And Rabotai, I'm making a disclosure now. I am not chas v'shalom attacking nobody. I'm just trying to bring out a point over here what the Torah requires of a woman towards her husband. And that is the Torah perspective, not a Goyish perspective. The Goyish perspective is everything's about the woman. I'm not telling you not to honor the woman. I'm not telling you not to love your wife. I'm not telling you not to give her money. You have to do all that. But Rabotai, as we'll see in the Sefer Elam U'Michshol, that much more than a husband that has to do for his wife has to do for her husband. I'm going to read it for you inside, but I'm saying it now because I don't want people to take it the wrong way and have problems, chas v'shalom. In Peskim V'Tushuvot, he brings down over here, the Shulchan Aruch says, "V'lo yikre'enu b'shemo lo b'chayav v'lo b'moto, elo omer Abba Mari." A person is not allowed to call his father's name, not when he's alive and not when he's not alive. Rather, he has to say, "My father, my master." Automatically, Rabotai, you guys see over here how you have to treat your father like a master. V'isur zehu min ha-Torah. This prohibition of calling your father by his first name, it's a prohibition from the Torah. V'atam, and the reason why is it a prohibition from the Torah? She'ke'asher koreh la'aviv o le'imo b'shemam, when a person calls his father or his mother's name, yesh bikach zilzul ve'ha'adar kevod. Rabotai, over here we have disrespect, and we are degrading them, meaning their honor. That's why you're not allowed to call your parents by their first name. Upashur, he says, and it's very simple, Sha'isru af shelo befanav. Even if your mother and father are not in front of you, and somebody asks you, what's your father's name? You can't say his name just like that. You have to say, my father, my master, and then you could continue, as we'll see all the details in the following class. But he says over here, "Upashu sha'isur hu afilu shelo befanav, she'im maskir et aviv o et imo, asur lomar et shemam." If you are speaking to somebody, Artur, and now you want to tell them that this is what my father did, this is what my mother did, and you want to mention their name, that is not going to be allowed. Whether they're alive, whether they're chas v'shalom not with us no longer, you're not allowed to go say, let's say the father's name was Shmuel. You can't say, Shmuel, my father, Baruch Hashem, that you can't do, Rabotai. This is what he taught me. You're not allowed to mention your parents' name, not when they're alive and not when they're dead. Bezrat Hashem B'Leneder, we'll see, there's many more halachot. What if it's a strange name? What if you want to call your friend's name that is identical to your parents' name? Etc. We'll see these halachot, Bezrat Hashem, because there are many halachot to this. Rabotai, in the Sefer Ve'elam U'Michshol, Rabotai, again, one more time, a real disclosure. Let's be adults about it. Not to chas v'shalom upset our wives, not to disrespect our wives. I just wanted to show you over here what the Torah requires from a relationship, from a wife to a husband. Because today, whenever you go to anybody and you try to make peace, whenever the wife speaks and the husband speaks, the rabbi says the wife is right. Everything the wife is right because they want to make shalom bayit. Rabotai, we're not living a non-Jewish lifestyle. We are living a Jewish lifestyle. Maybe they should start telling the wives, you have an obligation to listen to your husband and stop bickering and complaining. Maybe this is what they should. Maybe they should make them quiet and tell them what the Torah requires of them. Because when a woman goes against the husband, she's also doing prohibition, Rabotai. I'm going to show it to you. It's in the Torah. מאחר שכתוב בתורה, in the Sefer Elam U'Michshol, After it's written in the Torah, V'hu yimshol bach, that Hashem says that the husband is going to rule over you, meaning over the wife. Not the wife is going to rule over the husband. Like today we have it. Rabotai, let me read for you what Rashi says in the Chumash. In Perek Gimel, in Pasuk Zayin, Hashem says, Ela isha amar harbe itzbonech. Hashem said after what happened when Chava sinned, Hashem said to the woman, I will greatly increase your suffering. V'heronech, your labor. Be'etzev tildi, you're going to have growing pain, meaning, we'll see what Rashi says. Be'etzev tildi banim, you're going to have growing pain. When you're raising children, they're going to have pain. Ve'el ishech tishukatech, you're going to desire your husband much more. Ve'hu yimshol bach, and he's going to rule over you. Rabotai, listen to this carefully. I'm not saying this is the Torah. The Torah is expecting from a husband that he has to be the ruler in the house. Like we saw the previous days where the Rambam brings down. That he has to be the ruler, he has to be the melech. That's the way she has to treat him. Over here is clearly written that the husband has to rule over his wife, and not chas v'shalom lo oleinu rabotai, that the wife has to rule over her husband. We'll see the wife that rules over her husband. We'll see what the Chazal say on that, but let me finish over here. What does it mean? Hashem is going to increase hard labor for them. He says, Izbonech, Rashi says, Zeh tzar gidul banim. This is the pain of raising children. Hashem is going to make it hard for the woman. What about birth? Zeh tzar ha'ibur. When a woman has to give birth, she feels pain. Hashem increased all this against them. Be'etzev tildi banim, which says zeh tzar ha'leidam. Ve'el ishech tishukatech. What does it mean that you will desire your husband? Ta'avatech. What does that mean? Letashmish. A woman's going to want to be more with the husband by having relations. V'afal piken en lach metzach letiv'o bepeh. Rabotai, nevertheless, a woman is never allowed to tell the husband, I want you. I want to go have a chas v'shalom. She can show him, but to say it, she's not allowed. She's not allowed to be brazen like that and to go and to demand she wants to be with him. Rabotai, Eila hu yimshol bach. Rather, he's going to rule over you. What does that mean, he's going to rule over you? Hakol mimenu v'lo mimech. Everything is from the husband and nothing's from you. A woman needs to realize, Rabotai, her place in this world, from the Torah perspective, that everything comes from the husband and not from the wife. A wife could make $600,000. The husband could make $50,000. Rabotai, in the Torah's eyes, you have nothing against your husband. Your husband is the boss. That's how it works. Today a woman makes $1 more than her husband. She thinks she can say whatever she wants. Rabotai, this is Chumash. Now I'm going to go back to Ve'elam Mikshol. Rabotai, don't be afraid. Why are you guys so scared? Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Rabotai, listen, I'm serious. Why?
You know that. You have to make class for the woman.
Emes.
Yeah.
You don't be scared.
Rabotai, I told somebody one time, you know, he was so afraid of his wife. I said, whatever, it was the whole thing. It was like, I love her, I want to meet her. What do you mean? I told her, listen, escort her out and make sure the door does not hit her on the way out. What is it? Why are you breaking? You have to be a man. We have to, I don't know, I'm serious. No, I'm very serious. Today everybody's under the woman's skirts. Maybe today they don't wear skirts, they wear pants. That's why they're the boss. Now, Rabotai, I'm not chas v'shalom, Rabotai, I'm not going against them, I'm not going against you. I'm just trying to show you we have to live a life of Torah, not a life of shtuyot. We don't have this, Rabotai. We think because the people, Lo'olenu, Hashem Yiracham on them, they watch all the shtuyot in the movies. That's how they have to be, how the husband goes on one knee when he proposes. What's this? What's on one knee? You know what you're telling? You know what she's telling you? That's how you're going to be for the rest of your life. On one knee. I know. Why are you guys laughing? Why are we learning from? I'm very serious. That's why I told you. Let's be adults about it. Why are we learning our ways, how to respect our wives from the goyim? Why don't we learn what the Torah requires, how we have to respect them? The Torah wants the husband to learn Torah. The Torah wants the husband to buy the woman clothing, jewelry, knives, everything. He has to respect her, also honor her, like the Rambam says. He can't be chas v'shalom cheap. The Torah also requires a lot from us. But no, Rabotai, we think we come home like a couch potato, watch TV, and then we kiss her hand, we go on our knees. I don't know what you guys do, but Rabotai, so he says like this. Since it's written in the Torah that he's going to rule over you, meaning everything comes from him and nothing comes from you. Lamadnu derech eretz, we learn over here derech eretz. Shabal kovei babayit. The husband is the one that overrules in the house. He's the boss of the house. Vehu hakoach hamuvhil v'haminhik et hakol. Rabotai, listen to this carefully. He is the head. He is the leader that is going to lead everything. He makes the decisions. Let me ask my wife if I can come to her house for Shabbat. What does that mean? Let me ask my wife. I said, you know, you're not allowed to have TV in the house. You're not allowed to put your kids over here. You cannot take your kids to the pool. You cannot. There's a lot of things you start to do against the Torah. I don't know what my wife is going to say. I don't want to have problems with her because that keeps the kids at safe at sitting and they don't bother her. Rabotai, you guys are mamish fools for allowing your kids to do this and listening to your wife for this. When it comes to spirituality, you do not allow the woman to make any decisions. When it comes to spirituality, you have to meet no halachot and you have to go by it. When it comes to materialistic, she wants the walls to be black. Make it whatever color she wants for all I care. But when it comes to the nisham, when it comes to olam haba, you guys have to be able to lead that. Vigam, he says, and also, im ishto chokhma unuvoah v'sinuna, even if his wife is wise and smart and she's very sharp, umitiyah b'chokhma is a dominant. Now she wants to offer it with wisdom something. Even if the husband is going to be enthusiastic, he's going to have enthusiasm about it, she cannot go ahead and just do it, Artur. What does she have to do? She needs to get approval from the husband. So when you go, приходишь домой, где ты? Я шопинг делал. Что мне сказала? Я пришел домой, думаю, что ты не дома, машина не дома, дети дом бардак. Скажи, куда ты пошла? Нет такой сегодня. They do whatever they want. You know why? Because they have, I don't want to say, they have a lot of people that protect them, you understand? No matter how you're going to look at it, how they say in America, women are always right. But about time, the Torah law, men are always right. It doesn't work like that. So he says over here, she needs to go ahead and she has to get his approval. I'm reading from inside what they're making up. ומשורה דרך ארץ שהאישה לא תפגין שהיא מבינה יותר ממנו. רבותיי, when we look from the aspect of derech eretz, a woman is not allowed to demonstrate that she knows more than the husband. Rebotai, she has to be beneath, not above.
Where's my brother?
Rabotai, even if she reads books, she goes to all these berachot parties and chalakha. What do you call this? Misha, challah parties. Help me, Misha. I don't know what goes on. You have to help me. Challah parties, and she goes to and they lean, and the husband all day like a bum sitting at home doing nothing. Nevertheless, Rabotai, she is not allowed to demonstrate that she knows more than him. Good for you, you know it, but you gotta know how to respect your husband. Im calls it with all this. The honor of the husband stands in his place. He runs everything, Rabotai. He rules everything. He's the one that's established in the house. In Parshat Toldot Mivi, he brings over there when Rivka was speaking to Yaakov. Listen what the Torah requires of a woman. When Rivka was speaking to Yaakov, she said to him, Rivka told Yitzchak Avinu, I am disgusted with my life because I'm afraid maybe Yaakov is going to go ahead and he's going to take one of the daughters of Chet. She was afraid of that. Rabotai, but Rivka didn't tell Yitzchak that she had prophecy from heaven that Esau wants to kill Yaakov. She didn't tell Yitzchak that. Why didn't she say, are you serious? Your son wants to kill another son. Why? Listen what means a woman who's wise. Because she didn't want to offend his honor, because he didn't accept the prophecy. She accepted it. She didn't want to show that she knows more than him. Kalacham. She was. That's what they say, Rabotai. If your your wife must go to the mikvah. Why is in the mikvah, right? Mikvah only requires 40 se'ah. It's about, I don't know, about maybe 112 gallons. I'm not exactly sure. It's not a lot. It's very small. Rabotai, why today? But if you want more, you could make a swimming pool, correct? Why when a woman goes to the mikvah, right? Why does the mikvah, where's the water up to, Avrami? Up to the waist, or even maybe up to even 3/4 to the body. Why isn't the mikvah up to here? Make it easier for the woman. Make it a little bit more, like a swimming pool, 10 feet deep. She jumps in, she comes out from the other end. It's easy, because she has long hair. We don't want it to come out. Why do we make it half? Rabotai, listen to what one rabbi said. To teach the woman that when she's bending down in the mikvah, she's going down. That's that she has to bend to her husband's opinions. She has to go down, she has to listen to what the husband says. Not she has to rule over him. And that's what Rivka did to Yitzchak. She had a prophecy, she knew more than him. But she didn't want to offend his honor. Today, today the wife will attack in front of your in-laws and her parents, your parents, kids, not kids. Have some honor for your husbands, Rabotai. If the wife don't honor the husband, forget about the kids honoring never the father. This is why it's bad that a mother should never speak bad about the father. Even if the guy's a bum. We'll see later on that there's a mitzvah for every child. So look at the parents like they're the top people. Rabotai, we'll see this. There's a lot of halachot, and then we wonder why our children don't respect our parents. It's because the wife doesn't respect. How are they supposed to know? Why should she respect the father like this? She has to keep her mouth quiet. On the contrary, your father, Maladez, he brings money home. He does everything for me. On the contrary, so important in the kid's eyes. Rabotai, וחז"ל אומרים במסכת ביצה דף ל"ב עמוד ב' נגערי אני פרישה לתה. מי שאשתו מושלת עליו, if you have a woman, a wife that rules over the husband, חייו אינם חיים. His life is not life. This guy is considered to be a dead man walking. That's what Masechet Beitzah says. If that's why Rabotai, when people, that's why it's very sad to me when people have shalom bayit problems and now they start getting divorced. And instead of we telling the woman, okay, you're right, yeah, we're right, right. How can you say she's right if the Chazal just says just the opposite? She has to give in to the husband, Rabotai. When a woman rules in the house, life is not life. He's the dead man walking. He could have all the money in the world, but he has nothing, Rabotai. V'derech eretz al pi haTorah mevia chayim tovim, Rabotai. Derech eretz, the person has derech, according to the Torah, will bring good life. You don't understand. Let a woman try it, Rabotai. Explain to your wife what you learn nicely, with respect, with dignity. I'm not chas v'shalom telling you allowed to raise your hand on your wife. You are rasha if you do it. I'm not telling you allowed to scream at chas v'shalom. You must honor your wife to the maximum ability. But I'm just trying to bring out a point. Yeah, disclaimer. But I'm trying to bring out a point that they have a very big obligation on us to respect us. Rabotai, I want to explain to you like this. We today unfortunately think that a woman, chas v'shalom, listen, I'm not taking anything away from them. A woman, right, I've seen it many times, it's very sad. Women need to start learning halachot of Shabbat, mikvah, chatzitza, nida. There's a lot of halachot that they have to learn. They can't just make berachot parties, Rabotai. They can't make challah parties and that's it. Rabotai, we have to teach the woman what the Torah requires of them. Because in the end, each one of us is going to be responsible for not showing our wives the proper way. But Rabotai, there's another thing we have to teach a woman. How to be with her husband. How to talk to her husband. How to respect her husband. Rabotai, you guys are going to have the best shalom bayit. A woman that knows how to give in to the husband, she's going to have the greatest salvation. Because what do we think today? A woman thinks she's going to wear a black skirt or whatever skirt. She's going to be religious, right, from head to toe. She's all fully covered. She has a mitpach like this. You don't even see one hair coming out. So she thinks she's a kosher woman. She thinks she's religious. Yeah, that's religion between you and Hashem. But what about you and your husband? Ben Adam le Chavero. Rabotai, you know who's a kosher woman, Benny? Can I read for you inside? Yes? You're fine? Rabotai, in the Sefer, in Hashim Michalchot Ishu Perik, Tetvav, all the way on the bottom of the Haggaot Mimoni, he brings down over here, it was written in Tan de Beliyahu, V'chimati vashal Yael, Shebatet Teshua Gidula al Yada. Rabotai, there's a whole story with Yael that a great salvation happened through her. Amr the Chachamim said, Isha Keshera Haita. She was a kosher woman. What means she was a kosher woman? What? She davened 3 times a day. She said Tehillim all day. What did she do? Rabotai, you want to be a kosher woman? הייתה ועושה אותו, איש הכשר הייתה, ועושה אותו מקום, לא מחילה, ועושה רצון בעלה. She did the will of her husband, the will. The husband said, well, we're done. No questions asked. From here, Chazal come, Mikan Amru, from here the Chachamim say, אין לך קשר בנשים, אלא אישה שהיא עושה רצון בעלה. The only kosher woman that you have in this world is a woman that does her husband's will. That's it, Rabotai. You want to change it? You want to rip this out? That means you don't believe in the Torah. We believe in the Torah 100% and we follow the Torah 100%. Rabotai, I want to make a disclaimer. Chas v'shalom, this is not to say right now that if the husband says, I want to go to Miami or to the beach or to the pool where there's no, or I want to go to Atlantic City or I want to do Averas or I want you to wear a mini skirt. Chas v'shalom, Rabotai, I'm not speaking about this. Everything I said up to now is in parameters of halakha. The husband is not allowed to make his wife sin. First comes Hashem, then comes the husband, Rabotai. But when it comes to halakha, everything the husband asks you nicely, babe, I need to go learn Torah. I need to go down in the morning. Please take care of the kids. Let's try to get a babysitter. She has to do everything in her power to make sure that the husband grows. And Rabotai, if your husband grows like Yael, great salvation came to her. Through this woman, also great salvation will come. She's going to have a lot of success. B'ezrat Hashem, Rabotai, may we bless our women. May they go in the ways of the Torah. Because if the woman goes in the ways of the Torah, Benny, our children go in the way of the Torah. If our children goes in the ways of Torah, listen to this very carefully. You're not going to only have a good Olam Hazeh, but you're going to have a very big Olam Haba, because that says in the Halachot of Yom Kippur, that even after 120, when a person dies, Chayim ve'metim hasfarim niftachim. The dead and the alive, their books are open. Open for what? Life, I understand, but why people that are dead? To see if their children went in the derech. If you thought you built a nice house and you put your kids in public school, chas v'shalom, who knows what you did? And you didn't teach them the proper Torah, you could have been the biggest rabbi, you could have learned 25 hours, 8 days a week. In Shamayim, you go straight to Gehenna. Because we have an obligation to teach our wives and our children to go in the derech of Torah in order, in the future, so when after we die, after 120, we're going to have big dividends, Rabotai, not going to be ashamed over there that our kids over here are off the derech. B'ezrat Hashem, may Hashem bless all of us with arichut yamim, arichut shamim, nashim tovim, yiladim tovim. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen, amen.